Am I the bad apple for ruining this woman's vacation? I, 21 female, am a Bulgarian tour guide. One woman was constantly oversleeping. 8 a.m. is when we depart for all of our tour days. The first time she was late by 10 minutes. I also mentioned to the whole bus in the mic that we don't really tolerate lateness beyond 15 minutes at most. The next day, the same woman was late again by 25 minutes. I reminded everyone on the bus again that I will not be waiting anymore for late tourists. She came up to me and even asked if I could make sure to wake her up on time. I said no. The next day, she didn't show up. I waited 15 minutes and called her twice with no response. I just left with the bus. An hour later, she called me in panic, asking where we were. She got angry and said that I had one job and that I cheated out of her money that she paid to go on the trip. She missed the entire day of the tour and was furious.
So I was putting together my little vegetable planters, and while I was sitting here and working, I heard buzzing, but it wasn't, I'm outside. Hearing a buzzing bee is normal. But then I realized it sounded like a distressed buzzing. I don't know how I knew that, but it sounded like a distressed buzzing. And I looked around and I didn't see anything. And so I walked outside, and some of my planters that I have out there that I just washed and they're drying, one of them had a couple inches of water because it was storming this morning. And I saw a bee that was stuck and trying to get out and just kept getting, I don't know what happened. I don't know if his wing was wet and he couldn't fly. Well, I don't know, but he was stuck. And I was like, oh my gosh, buddy, you got this. But then I realized, oh my God, he's stuck. I have to save him. And then I looked and I was like, is that a bee? I want to make sure. Because, bumblebees we love. Other things that go buzz buzz and are yellow and black we don't love. And I looked and I was like, I can't really see because he's freaking out and in distress. But I think that's a bee, right? So I go to the side that he's not on and tip the water out. And then all of a sudden, a wasp flies out. I wanted to save a bumblebee. Mother Nature's pollinators. I saved a demon. Evil always tricks us.
All I'm saying is that if substitute teaching was required the way that jury duty is, you can't convince me that America wouldn't have a whole new appreciation for education and educators, and it might not be so much of a trash can right now.
Am I the bad apple for asking my girlfriend to dress more sensibly? My girlfriend and I, both 30, go on this trail by the river sometimes. It's about an hour each way, and most people are in casual or sporty clothes. She wore a maxi skirt and high heels, and I felt like it was really out of place. I told her after the last time that the next time, she should probably dress more sensibly. She claimed that it was fine, but it was very out of place, and even if she wouldn't admit it, she definitely struggled in a few particular area at the end of the trail where it's not paved. Everyone looks at her when we go, so it's not like people don't notice. I'm honestly wondering if she just does it for attention. We went out again recently, and she showed up in the same type of outfit. I felt embarrassed next to her because everyone else was in athletic clothes, and she stood out. I reminded her that I already asked her not to dress like that for this specific activity. She told me that I was being controlling.
I was teaching a freshman world history class, and I had 2 kids that tried to fight every single day. It was my second year teaching. I had them in the hallway at separate times, and I just looked at both of them separate times, and I said, you are so much better than this. What are you doing? You could do so many more beneficial things. And that day, one of the kids came to my room during lunch, during our office hours kind of thing. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, well, I wanted to know if I can study in here. And I was like, really? It's third month of school? What's the occasion? I'm interested. I'm glad you're here, but why? He's like, well, none of my teachers ever told me they thought I could do more before. And you were the first one. I'm like, about to start crying. He's like, no one ever told me that they thought I could do more. And you were the first one that did. And he came every single day to our office hours. And he went from a 46 to an 87.
Am I the bad apple for telling my sister to stop feeding her baby junk food? My sister has a baby boy who turned 1 in June. I've recently been helping her out by looking after him while she and her partner move houses. I've been increasingly shocked by what she sends him to my house with for lunch. Just today it was a sausage roll and either Greg's or Tesco mystery meat from a multi-pack, 2 bags of crisps, and I'm not talking about lentil crisps or veggie straws. I'm talking about like chocolate biscuits or cake bars or anything like that. Most recently was a Jaffa cake. At first I tried like a jokey, humorous approach, telling her that my 3-year-old would start getting jealous of all these treats, and that I'm worried that I couldn't cope with my nephew's sugar highs, and etc., etc. But after several weeks of this, I snapped and told her that she's gonna have a poorly child who loses all his teeth by the age of 5 if she feeds him all this junk all the time. Am I the bad apple for not changing my plans for my boyfriend and his kids? I, 42 female, have been hosting an end of summer party with my neighbors for years. The adult and kids come, we celebrate together, and at some point all the kids go to sleep while the adults continue hanging out throughout the evening. I was gonna bring my kids, 6 and 10, to the party, and then inside to sleep in our home, which is right next to the backyard this whole thing is being posted in. I invited my boyfriend of 6 months and his kids, 5 and 7 years old. He declined, saying that he didn't feel comfortable leaving his kids to sleep at my place since they've never stayed there before. He also didn't like the idea of putting them to bed at my place while he stayed outside with me, or going to bed with them while I stayed outside. His opinion is that I should just leave the party with him and our kids when it's bedtime. On top of that, during the party, I didn't really have time to call him because I was focused on my guests, and I should have made time to call him. Am I the bad apple for eavesdropping on my neighbor? Our new neighbors of about 6 months moved in May, and they informed us that they were putting in a pool. The pool company asked to use the path between our houses and gave us a poorly written liability waiver with inconsistent references. I saw this as an opportunity to be a good neighbor and reword it to be way more clear and send it back. My wife mentioned our new AC unit and asked that the machinery avoid the condenser. I had an old Google camera that I used for video feed on the AC unit just to kind of keep an eye on the workers and make sure nothing nefarious happened. A work vehicle with a trailer arrived and parked right in front of our driveway. I was kind of curious as I didn't think it was the same company. We have a driveway camera, and I was curious to hear their conversation about why that company was hired and why a different company was there. I understand this was me being nosy, but that's not illegal. What I hear was my neighbor complaining about me.
I'm afraid of birds, but Nathan is encouraging me to face my fears and feed some. So I'm gonna do it, but I might cry.
Just extend your arms.
Very good. Do that. All right. Lower down.
You're gonna do it?
Okay.
But no, I want a video on
They're coming now.
Slowly stand up. Slow.
Oh my gosh, their feet are so scaly.
It's okay.
He's so large. Why is he that big? Oh my god, he looks like a dinosaur. Why does he look like a dinosaur? Oh, he has talons. Oh no! Deep breaths.
And I'll raise your hand up.
I want to cry.